Check. Should we get into it? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Check. Ladies and gentlemen, do we have visuals? Hey, we do! Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor in Paradise. This is an East Coast after-episode live stream. How are we?
I don't want to meet your mother. Never ever ask me how I've been. Remember why you have my number.
What a great ending. Wasn't that fun? David Spade crushes it. Crushes it, folks. All right. Katie Edwards, hey, how are ya? Hit the spade, yeah. Bump your David Spade on top of that like button. Good to see you, Crafty Beach. Spade, bring him back. No offense to Lance Bass. He is not going to be able to follow the wit of David Spade. I'm sure he'll bring other attributes with that boy band energy, but David Spade, I mean, I love the snark. He said, maybe I'll make them sing happy birthday to me on Cameo for $9. Yeah, he's saying, I've got talent. These jabronis are just bumping crabs on a beach. Bruce is waiting for the West Coast. Yeah, you know, this isn't an everyday experience. We get a East Coast live stream, but I wanted to come in firing hot. So here we are. Spade was good. Got some nice jams in the background, too. Let's go to some non-vocals. How about that? Let's do some instrumentals in the background. These should be instrumentals. There we go. All right, everybody, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Dave Neal if you're new. We're going to just talk about the show if anyone wants to. Feel free to call in 401-213-9828. You can call that number. Let me slide over. And we'll hear your voicemails. So feel free to call that number. Right now, we'll be here for the next hour or so. Take a little break, and then we'll do the West Coast live stream. That's right, we're doing extra credit. I had a nice weekend celebrating love. And on this episode of The Bachelor in Paradise, we didn't find too much love. There's a little bit. Let's talk about it. Demi doesn't know how to take rejection. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Was Demi... Did Brendan do a good job of setting boundaries with Demi? I thought he did. He was like, look, kiss is nice, but we're going to see other people, right? Now, I don't know how else would, like, it's almost like Demi would have preferred it that for him to just lie to her face, I guess. Sometimes I think people just want you to lie to their face. Miriam says, so glad Goddess Victoria is gone. Yeah, very funny moment when Brendan says, your goddess energy is, what did he say? Is overwhelming, I think. What did he say? I take notes here. That's right, we got the notebook, folks. You guys know I'm having computer issues over here. So this recap will be notebook style. Brendan says, so we're seeing other people still or what? That's what he says after that. All right. Okay. Victoria Larson, Kelsey, and Serena C go home. Victoria Parker goes home. Is that her name, Parker? What's up with that? What's up with Victoria Parker? Where do you guys want to start? Was Victoria Parker not lying through her teeth? You know me, I'm pretty objective. They call me Objective Dave. But every once in a while, I'm like, wow, Tammy was right on the nose. She called Victoria P out for having a boyfriend at home. Victoria P was like, I need to set some healthy boundaries. And Kelsey's like, no, let's talk. And she's like, no, you just need to set some healthy boundaries. It's like, what? There's nothing scarier than when a manipulative person learns therapy words because they use them in the wrong way. And now she's like, I just need to set some boundaries. And they're like, I think you're actually avoiding our conversation. There was a lot of interesting things that happened in this episode. Let's see what we have. Ashley said, Demi needs to realize that not everyone finds her attractive. And and Ashley, listen, I mean, I think attractions, here's the deal, right? You can be attractive and someone can just not be into your type. Like, we all have different types. So Brendan, he's a peach. He's a tall glass of water, as it were. And maybe Demi just wasn't for him, you know what I mean? And We don't know why Demi's there. Is Demi there for the right reasons? I mean, I've never been convinced someone's there for the wrong reasons than Demi. She kind of treats it as a game, and, she played the game and didn't go well for her. You know what I mean? But she's Demi, and those producers are not going to let her go home without a fight, so she's sticking around. Bethany said, Demi's too much. She's there to bang and cause drama, not a relationship. Lindsay says, Demi was a bit whiny this episode. Hey, Purple Sunsets says, congrats on 40,000. Very well deserved. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, guys, if you're in Los Angeles, I have a show Friday and Saturday. Friday in Hollywood. Saturday in Santa Monica. So let me know if you guys want to come up to a show. And we'll see what we can do about getting you in. All right. Someone, Bree said, check my Instagram. Let's see if we have a message from Bree here. Oh, my gosh, I have a ton of messages here. Let's see. I don't know if I see Breeze. Oh, is it from earlier? Oh, thank you so much. Bree also sent me a nice Venmo, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Oh, look, we have some messages. Wow. I just got a mess. Oh, man. I just got a message, guys. All right. I just got a... This is a breaking news story. I can't share it. I have to share this tomorrow. I just got a message from a cousin of a potential cast member who may or may not be engaged. That's all I will say about that. People like to slide me some information, and we just got handed some information. I need to vet it. I can't share it with you yet, but I just received some insider info on Instagram. So stick around tomorrow. I think we might have some news. We might be up all night. Got some news, folks. All right, looks like we just got a super chat. I'm trying very hard to get to everyone's messages, but it looks like we're going to have a pretty busy crowd today. Willie Billy with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I don't ever make any graphics prioritizing super chats, but I do. I will get to all the super chats. I can't promise I'll get to all the normal chats. That's just the way I have to give super chats priority. Of course, no pressure to donate or anything like that. If you really want to get through to me, leave me a short voicemail. That's the best way to get through, a short voicemail. Anyway, Bree, thank you so much for the Venmo. I really appreciate that donation. I think that's the same Bree. The cheese. All right, here we go. Let's see. We've got our first voicemail that came in 3 minutes ago from Atlanta. Let's see what Atlanta has to say. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Let's go to Atlanta.
Hi, Dave. This is Radina calling from Atlanta, and I just wanted to say, well, first off, congrats on 40K. Hopefully you catch up to Nick Viall soon. I also, just something that stood out to me this episode is how what Demi was saying after Brendan rejected her was very parallel to how Greg reacted to Katie, quote unquote, rejecting him, where she was saying, I made out with him and I took time to take him on this date and all this stuff, like as if he owes her to continue seeing her after the date. So that's all I wanted to say. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. Great point there. One thing, hold on. I'm not trying to make this a gender thing here, but traditionally speaking, hold on one second. Traditionally speaking, I think men do more pursuing of women than women do of men. We get rejected all the time. Some don't handle it well. Some are abusive, manipulative, some don't handle it well. But men learn to get rejected pretty much from literally pre-puberty, you know what I mean? Freshman year of high school, you're rejected. We get rejected our whole life. Some women don't. Some women have never been rejected. And it's hard for a woman. Again, I know we're talking genders and we're generalizing. All women don't want to be generalized. I just generalized. Yeah, we did it, folks. So I understand that it might be difficult for people that have never been rejected to put themselves in the guy's position of the pursuer, since Demi has to be more aggressive because there's only a limited number of roses, and then chooses the guy on a date. But we have to remember, Demi, she tried to kiss Brendan before the date. Remember? She went in to kiss him and he grabbed her head and spiraled it into a cheek kiss on their first interview. So she was trying to kiss him right away. He wasn't buying it. He wasn't having it. They ended up kissing after the jet skis, and he's like, hey, so no, that was fun. We'll see you out there, kid. And she's like, what the hell? And she ruminated on it, and she made it worse than it had to be because she felt stupid. Well, guess what, Demi? Getting rejected, you feel dumb. I can't tell you how many times guys feel dumb. So Crafty Beach and Rebecca said, take it to the Patreon, Dave. I'll tell you what. Let me follow up on this info that I got, and if there's a way I can share it, I will share it with the Patreon, okay? If there's a way I can share it, I will. I just got the message. I'm going to have to go on a couple social medias and do a little digging, but I'll put it this way, a member of the family of a recent, like in the last 3 years, not a lead, but like a well-known person in Bachelor just reached out to me. That's what we'll say. We can't say anymore. I have to go through it. I can't blow it. I can't blow it just yet, folks. Let me go through it. Maybe on tonight's live stream, on the late night live stream, I'll have enough info to share with you guys.
Hey, Dave. This is Chrissy from Dallas, Texas. Congrats on the 40K subscribers as well. My thought is this season seems a little bit dull. Like there's just not very many real relationships going on. I really feel like most of these people on here aren't even really interested. And I'm just curious what everybody thinks about that. I think a lot of the really good people either already paired up pre-show or they're just not interested in coming on the show this season. So a little bummed, a little disappointed. I was so looking forward to Bachelor in Paradise, and so far it's been kind of a dud.
Christy from Dallas, Texas calls it a dud. Thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate it. Also, Hunter, right here in the comment section, says, smash the Harrison, which I oblige all my moderators to yell, smash that Harrison. No, that's not true. Hunter is our newest moderator. I'm going to add one like every 10,000 subscribers. So on behalf of the 40,000 new subscribers, we have our fourth moderator. So thank you so much, Hunter, for all the lovely work that you have done and all the support you've given us in the comment section. All right, yeah. I don't know if there's duds. I mean, there are some heavy relationships happening. Grocery Store Joe and Serena, that seems like the real deal. That seems like a real deal, right? And then Mari and Kenny, I know we haven't seen much about them, but that seems like the real deal too. As far as some of them go, I'm trying to think of my list here of the relationships that we have. Noah and Abigail, we'll have to see. Connor and Marissa, I don't see it. Trey and Tajwan looks pretty good. It's still early though. Carl and Deandra, I don't see that going anywhere. Brendan and Natasha, I don't see that going anywhere. Aaron and Tammy, I don't know. Aaron chose Tammy, but wasn't he was he with someone else beforehand? Gosh, I can't keep track of all this, guys. So much to go on. Sophia says, kick Nick Vial's peach, Dave. Well, nothing against Nick Vial. I mean, it's just nice. It's just nice that some no-name jabroni like me can even compete with these heavy hitters. You know what I mean? Hey, I'll gladly make a little competition out of it. He's at 47,000 subscribers. I just hit 40,000. Let's do it. Let's go to 50. Maybe then he'll invite me on his podcast. Because he hasn't invited... none of these... And you know what? It's all right. Listen. I'm busy with doing what I do. And I don't know if I could add any value on their podcast because I prefer the control of sharing my message with you guys. But, I would gladly go on Chatty Broads or his or any of those other ones. But, they want to... Yeah, I get it. They want January Jones. I'm not competing with January Jones. I get it. There is no hate there, But then you got to get to a place where eventually, someone wants to talk to you. All right, voicemails are up, 401-213-9828. I got to go turn the AC on. Hold on, folks. Give me a second. Call the voicemail number. I got to turn the AC on. I'm already sweating. Okay. Valerie says, I like Tammy calling out the BS. Oh, a little loud. She says, I like Tammy calling out the BS, but then all the gossip after that she does, it seems like she feeds off the drama. Well, I won't comment on anything else other than Tammy did the right thing. It seemed like Victoria Parker, is that her name, Parker? It seems like her only beef was come to me first. She kind of tried to make it seem like I was going to tell James about my boyfriend. She never quite said she had a boyfriend, but then as she was leaving, she said something. She goes, I don't have to search for what I already have at home. It's like, all right, so you are admitting you have a boyfriend. Like, I don't think people want to have to blow Victoria's spot up and be like, hey, she was just bumping Harrison's with that guy Thursday night. Like, I don't think people want to have to do that. But, like, in the end, it's not just about Victoria. There's a guy named James who could make connections with other people. But he kind of wasted his time with Victoria when there could have been other people. Because, he's a catch. He's a, good-looking bro in a box. Sophia says, hashtag done with Demi. Courtney Shane is, woohoo, here for Dave, live. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Crafty says, you are big time, Dave. Well, I don't know about that. I'll take medium time. We're medium time over here. All right. Rebecca says, did Nick Viall propose to his girlfriend? I don't believe so. Sunshine says, Dave, congrats on 40K, but please let us know what the joke was you put in the sermon and if Tasha went with it and how it went. Tasha ended up getting a good applause break. She got a good applause. I don't remember on what she said. Tasha, what did you say that got you the good applause break? You had a good applause break. You were like, welcome to the wedding 2.0. And she said something because it was the second time they did their vows because of the pandemic. And it got a good cheer from the audience. We had some funny moments in the wedding where the guy who was supposed to do the Facebook Live, he dropped the phone, and then the groom had to run out into the audience and fix it. And I'm just watching it sweating, being like, oh, let me tell you something. If I was the groom and my buddy dropped the Facebook Live, all I could think of was when I have my wedding, I'm gonna have a much more professional live stream. I am gonna make sure that I'm gonna be on the altar. And I'm going to be calling out the super chats that come in. The minister's going to be like, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? And I'll be like, and Sheila donates $20. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll do a little live stream when we get married, if we have the bandwidth. We'll have to see. Courtney says, Joe and Serena obsessed with them. Yeah, I mean, they're looking pretty good. I don't know. I wouldn't have believed it on paper. Heather Fitz says, James giving Demi his rose was 100% produced, unless he's hoping for an easy chance at the Boom Boom Room. Yeah, James and Demi, they don't seem to line up, like, physically speaking. She's a small person, and he's, like, a gigantic man. Hey, who knows? Linda says, Ivan and Yesenia are perfect for each other. I think they're a good match. They talked a little bit about race relations, how they talked about it, and Ivan mentioned how he didn't get any blowback from his conversations about race, and meanwhile, when women on the show talk about it, they get blowback. And what's that all about? Does it have to do... I'm sure it has to do with two things. One, people generally are more comfortable, I'm not saying this is right, with men sharing comfortable conversations than women. There's a lot of the shut up and know your role type of vibe. I'm not saying this is right, but that's where we're coming from, right? We're coming out of that way of thinking. Secondly, the audience of Bachelor is 95% women. So if the audience is 95% women, do women find it easier to empathize with a guy like Ivan in tearing down a girl because they're tearing down each other? I don't know. I think it could be a combination of the two. But it's too bad when women in the franchise find it hard to speak out about injustices, and sometimes the men don't. So I'd love to know what you guys think about that. Do we have any sort of, is there any sort of point there? Or is there any sort of any truth to what I was saying? All right. Yeah, Sweaty Dave. Absolutely. Oh, you should have seen me in Michigan. I was sweating nonstop. Crafty said, who is Serena kissing? She was kissing Produce Boy Joe. Yeah, well, Sarah, even though he doesn't own the grocery store, he still goes by Grocery Store Joe. That's it. That's the name for life. It's such a funny, unique name, Grocery Store Joe. James dodged a bullet with Victoria P and then goes for Demi. Yeah, the Demi part was produced. I'm sorry, Victoria Paul. That's her name. Thank you, Anna. Victoria Paul. Oh, boy, I must be very far behind. Let me try to catch up here. Apologize if I missed any of those. comments in there. We've got a wide open phone line, 401-213-9828. What? Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you think the way Brendan handled his possible romance back home different than Victoria Paul did? Is there a double standard to how they both handled that? Or was he more upfront by saying, I'm just trying to find new things, versus Victoria Paul, who sort of tried to talk her way out of it? Because you'd hate to be Pieper, right? Brendan, you'd hate to be Pieper if they were actually together. And we'll have to see how this all plays out. But you'd hate to be her and him say, oh, we're not together. It's nothing serious. And then she's like, I thought we liked each other. And, maybe they do. Maybe they said, hey, who knows what Brendan and Pieper said, but maybe they said, hey, we're liking each other. Go kiss someone else. If we still fall for each other, we'll know that our relationship was stronger because of Paradise, which is kind of like a cop-out way of saying, let's go on the show and get some more fans and make a few bucks. But yeah, no, why not? So, CCC, are you saying Taj was insecure because Victoria moved in on her man? It's a very complicated thing because on one hand, Tajwan knew exactly what Victoria was up to. Victoria was trying to get a rose. She was rose chasing. So I don't think it's a problem to call that out. On the other hand, I think Victoria, like she always does, Victoria Larson, completely overreacted. She called Tajwan psychotic, crazy. She called her the whole book. It's like, no, I don't think you were the one kind of encroaching on her man. You know what I mean? If you're Trey, you should want your lady to kind of be a little protective of you. I don't think that's unhealthy to a degree. Let me know what you guys think. Sarah says Pieper and Brendan must be in on it together for sure. I would have thought that if Brendan didn't then make out with Demi. It's got to be hard. I mean, think about someone you're dating, right? And now think about letting them go on a beach to make out with somebody else. That's very risky. I feel like it works if you're not officially dating, if you're seeing each other, but it's a very risky game to play. Yeah. Hunter says Brendan and Pieper are a gorgeous couple, though. They absolutely are. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because they have been spotted together, but we don't know how it's all going to go down. So it's kind of like we'll have to see how it all plays out. The preview showed Thomas and Serena on a date and kissing, right? That could be the case. You're talking about Serena. You're obviously talking about Serena P because Serena C was sent home. I'll tell you what, we have a lot of people from the pandemic seasons. We need a term for the Corona cast. Maybe that's what we should call it, the Corona cast. And by Corona cast, I'm talking about Claire, Tasha, Matt James, Katie Thurston. Those are all Corona casts. Like Grocery Store Joe, not Corona cast. Is that a decent term? Let me know in the comment section if you have a better phrase for people in the age of Corona. Lisa said Brendan wasn't exactly upfront with Natasha until he knew Pieper had been a topic of conversation amongst everyone. No, you're absolutely right. He wasn't upfront. We'll have to just see what the motivation is, because obviously I'm a fan. Oh, maybe it's not obvious. I am a fan of Brendan, and I do think he's a huge catch. I was very surprised that he wasn't the next Bachelor. And maybe he will be, although I'm pretty sure that's not the route he's going. He's a good-looking guy. He has great conversations. He just seems like the real deal to me. For someone like Demi to be so upset that he sort of set boundaries for himself, that's kind of laughable to me. It's kind of, it shows her own sort of insecurities. Look, getting dumped, feeling stupid, feeling like you put yourself out there, it sucks. But Demi did not handle it well. It's Bachelor in Paradise. She shouldn't kiss a guy her first day there and expect that he's going to fall over him, especially when he's probably the most eligible guy there, or one of them. Cassie says, Pieper's in the preview. When do you think she's going to enter? I think soon. I think Pieper's coming soon. Crafty said, Pieper and Brendan just going on for the coin. Well, and I don't necessarily blame them. They're both models. Going on the show really helps their following, which helps their brands. You can't, it would suck if Pieper and Brendan, it's almost like one of those like victimless crimes in a way where sure, like Natasha's falling for him, but clearly no one's in love with Brendan, right? He's only like kissed a few people. So it might not be a complete victimless crime, but it's not like if Jed went on a show and made it all the way to the finals. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more of a playful series, I think. At least that's where they're coming from. I know, I'm trying to defend him. Heather says, I can't imagine a guy being into Demi for real on this show. Well, it's a little tough because, and listen, there's so much about Demi that I really like. So I'm not even being critical of her. But yeah, it is kind of hard. The show makes it very hard to know who's there for the right reasons. Lindsay said it's like an actor. There might have been an agreement beforehand. Well, acting, when you act and if you have to make it with someone on camera, there's a crew watching, their lines are scripted. It's very different than if you're on a beach drunk together making out. But I do understand the point that if they set clear boundaries, all right, kiss, you can kiss, no overnights, no laying down kissing, like whatever. I'm just assuming, whatever boundaries they set, if they did set those boundaries, there could be something there. Hey, shout out. We just hit 300 live viewers. So please hit the like button. Bump your David Spade. Spear your Spade through that like button. And let me know. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. You have to be a subscriber to comment. I think that's the rule. Maybe that's something I have to individually set for every video. I don't know how that works yet, but I'm trying to make it so that only subscribers can comment. That keeps the trolls out. And all that jazz. And all that jazz. Make a wish. On paradise. Okay, Bachelor in Quarantine. What about Bachelor in Quarantine? Loved by You says, is Brendan falling from grace? He should have stayed his fine ass in Boston. Oh, I don't know if he's falling from grace. I think he still has good intentions. He's a good guy. I don't know. There's something about Brendan I still see him as a good guy. Texas Star says Demi was being dramatic as usual. Yeah, of course. Of course, she brings the drama along. All right, we've got a voicemail here from Ontario, Canada. If anyone wants to leave a voicemail, 401-213-9828. Shut the music off. Shut the speakers off on your laptop if you're going to call in.
We'd
love to hear from you.
Hi, Dave. First of all, I want to congratulate you on your 40K. Woo! By the way, this is Jessica from Ontario,
hey, Jessica.
Canada. I have been with you since like 5K when you had the really long hair. So I am just so happy for you and to see how big you're.
First of all, 5,000 subscribers was only a few months ago. You were there when I had like 500 subscribers. If you were there when I had long hair, that was 4 years ago. But anyway, I just lost you there. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's go back to you.
I have been with you since like 5K when you had the really long hair. So I am just so happy for you and to see how big your channel has grown.
Oh, thank you.
It literally couldn't happen to a better person.
Oh,
so congratulations on that. And some quick takeaways from Paradise. One, Tammy is hilarious. I absolutely love her. She's so underrated, and I hope she gets all the love this season because she's great. Two, it's weird and kind of cringy to me how these people act like they don't know what's going on in Paradise, like with the whole Brendan and Pieper thing. How are you guys acting like you did not see the whole Us Weekly article about that? That's absolutely crazy to me. Also, I'm sorry, I'm out on Demi. She's a little bit too much. Listen, I'm all for drama and I'm all for messiness, but I just feel like she's going out of her way to cultivate fake relationships and bonds. And I just feel like she has no room to talk since that whole her and Christian thing last season. And lastly, I'm just really excited for Becca Kufrin, honestly, to come on the season. I think that it's going to be so new and so fresh. And speaking of her, did you see the interview that Blake Horstman did with Us Weekly, sort of when he was asked about what he thinks about Jenna or Becca joining Paradise? Do we think it's donezo for them? I hope not. I love them together, even though I know she's going to sort of have a thing with Thomas. Okay, well, once again, congratulations, and really rooting for you, and I can't believe we're at 40K. Road to 100K. All right, bye.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh, the joy I get from you guys being proud of me. You know, the joy I get from you guys being excited for the experience. It really makes it like we're all in this together. So thank you guys so much. On Sunday morning, I showed Tasha my phone. I was like, we might be at 40,000, and I loaded up and showed her, and we were at 40,002, and we hugged and kissed and all that jazz. It was nice, guys. Thank you. So yeah, you made a lot of great points there. Blake Horstman, Becca Kufrin. Yeah, it looks like they got to be done, right? I mean, they've had several years to like figure this out if they wanted to date. Maybe they'll come around, and maybe when he's kind of done, you know, running around DJing, and maybe they'll have something there. Maybe not. Who knows? I still think Becca might be engaged. I don't think engaged. That wasn't a spoiler. It wasn't Becca. Although that would be a good spoiler. If I found out Becca Kufrin was engaged and I broke that story, that would be nice. I'd be so nervous though if my information was right. I don't know. Crafty Beach says you were there at 2.6 thousand. Very nice. Oh, you're at 2.6 thousand. Hey, I was there a year ago. 2,000 to 40,000. I actually, I mean, I hate to say it. When in March when we like really started blowing up, I was like, oh, maybe we'll hit 100,000 this year. And now I'm kind of thinking like, maybe we will, maybe we won't. What's more important is the engagement of everybody. So it's like the number doesn't really matter. 100,000 would just be nice because that's when you get this silver plaque and you're able to get verified, which would be pretty cool. So we're not there yet. Because I think Bachelor Fan Take, he must be the biggest independent Bachelor commentary show in the world. And correct me if I'm wrong. Am I number 2? I say independent as in someone who's not affiliated with the show. Let me know if there's anyone else, because it would be fun to see that, because obviously Chatty Broads are affiliated with the show in the sense that she was on the show. You got that Charlene was on the show. And I don't count any of like Entertainment Tonight. Like they have a completely unfair advantage. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, Kelsey. People asked how I felt about Kelsey. You guys know I'm a fan of Kelsey's. Yeah, it's a bummer. I think if the right guy's on the show, Kelsey could be for him. I don't know what they're not seeing in her. Is it? I don't know. Why didn't Kelsey find a guy, guys? Let me know what you guys think. Milwaukee Motor says they're making between $600 to $1,000 per day. They want to stay as long as possible. And even more so than that, and that is correct, but what is more so than that is the amount of followers they'll build the longer they're on screen, which can equate to a lot more money in the long term. But yeah, good point. ShareCare said, found you at the beginning of the pandemic. I'm grateful you provide us a great place to connect. Well, thanks so much. I mean, I found you guys in the pandemic. I've been looking for you guys for years. It's so funny, I've been out here doing my thing for a while now, and it's so good to find people finally. Summer said, who was the girl who passed out at the rose ceremony on Matt's season? I can't remember. Oh, that's a good question. Maybe someone in the comments can answer that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, was it Sarah Trott? It could have been Sarah Trott. Maybe you guys already answered that. Janina says, I have emailed Bachelor franchisees about you, Dave. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I don't know. There's something nice about not being affiliated with the show, but also, it would be nice if they continue to approve interview requests from contestants. If there's anyone you guys think I should interview, let me know. I think Hunter would be a good one. I want to know more about the cocaine and cheerleaders. He kind of like, he told his story about his drug addiction, and he just like glazed over the coke and cheerleaders, and I'm like, I want to know that part of the story, that Friday Night Lights episode. Texas Sea Star says, I follow both you and Fantake and found you both about the same time. You both do great content in your lanes. Oh yeah, we're definitely in different lanes. Respectfully so. I couldn't do what he does. I don't have the analytical eye. I'm just the kid in the back of the class who just tries to, make some farts. I'm just the kid in the back of the class farting. Flatulence, Spear or Spade. Kelsey sat back waiting for guys to come up to her. She's got to get out of there. Well, it's really tough. I mean, it's just like, I totally empathize with people that it's a tough position to be in with all the egos and everyone. You have to imagine, you might look at them and go, oh my gosh, they're all gorgeous, but they've all got such insecurities. I mean, they're all surrounded by gorgeous people. Like Demi, she's like, I'm the cream of the crop. She's saying it because she doesn't believe it. You know what I mean? And that's okay. It's okay not to believe it. We all doubt ourselves. I'm the cream of the crop. It's like, do you feel that way? Kelsey strikes me as tough to get to know. She's got lots of feelings, but they're always bottled up. I want to see her let loose. Yeah, Kelsey, I'm glad she showed up. Texas Sea Star says, I'm surprised Chatty Broads doesn't have a bigger following given Becca is former Bachelor Nation cast. Their interview with Hunter was really good. Loved your interview with Brendan. Yeah, I'm going to start looking for, I think what I'm going to start doing, I was talking to Tasha about this, is trying to find a podcast studio in Los Angeles so I can have like better live produced podcasts for people, because I really believe in the energy in the moment. And if you think Brendan and I had a good conversation on Skype, we had some bandwidth issues. You know, I had to edit a few things because we like lost service a few times because he's in Canada and he's probably like on ice fishing or something. Wouldn't that be fun? Ice fishing. Like, what if I was just ice fishing right now with just a green screen? Caught one. Anyway, imagine the dynamic conversation you could have in person over a glass of whiskey. You know what I mean? So I think I might start renting out a podcast studio. I was trying to like figure out a way. Like, I used to have a podcast studio in my old place. Maybe I could do it here. Like, I've got my couch right here. I'd have to ditch the green screen for those convos. It'd have to be like more of a 2-camera shot. But hey, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The goal is though, when we upgrade places, to have like a barn where I can have my like cameras on they have them on like a tripod wheels, kind of like how soap operas have them. You just have the cameras ready to go. So you can wheel your cameras over to the podcast area, shoot a podcast, and you can wheel it over to like the newsroom area where I do the green screen stuff. And I would love to be able to be standing up for some stuff. In fact, I kind of feel like I could do that here. Like, I can't do it now, right? Like obviously, like I can't do it now, but I could raise. If I raise my desk and everything and I'm standing up, we could have a little bit more of an energy. Like, sitting down, you're kind of just, I don't know. I've always considered, like, you know, when I was by the bookshelf, I was standing up, leaning on the bookshelf. There's a different energy there. Point is, the more we keep building this, the more I'm going to build infrastructure that gives us the different pieces of the playground for the different scenarios. You know what I mean? Emily Fleur says, I thought 4 people were getting eliminated. There was Victoria P left earlier, though, so she was gone. So you didn't catch Victoria P. Hello? I'm on the air right now.
Oh, does that mean I'm on the air?
Yeah, you're a celebrity. Want to say hi to everyone?
Oh, hey, everyone.
I'm talking to my sister in Rhode Island.
Yeah, I'm just calling to actually ask my brother what he thought about the ending of Outer Banks.
Oh, you know, I haven't watched the ending of season 2 of Outer Banks.
Oh, man.
Was it good?
Yep. Keeps you wondering, keeps you thinking.
No, I haven't watched that yet. How I meant to ask, did the hurricane hit you guys?
Yep, we had Hurricane Henri. Henri. We put all of our outdoor furniture away. We prepared. We got our bread and our milk, and there was nothing.
Oh, that's how it works.
It was a bunch of wind and rain, and that was it.
Well, let me call you back tomorrow when I can actually chat. We had our flights canceled and rebooked today, so we had a long flight getting in.
Okay.
But
I just was going to ask you about all your wedding that you went to.
Yeah, I'll fill you in tomorrow.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right, see you later. Bye. That was my Irish twin, Chase Chandler. Chase and I are Irish twins. She's 11 months older than me. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that my sister's only 11 and a half months older than me? I got a stand-up joke about it just because it's a unique scenario. Shout out to my mom. All right, folks. Try to get in here. Yeah, 4 did leave. Kelsey, Victoria, and who else? Kelsey, 2 Victorias, and... Wait. 2 Victorias... Kelsey, and was it Serena C? Who left? Yeah, Serena C. There it is. You guys said that. Alexis Macklin says, I can't believe Victoria Larson was sent home so soon. Well, yeah, they can't control everything. Like, they probably knew that they had like 1 or 2 freebies, and they picked Demi instead. Demi's a better troll than Victoria. Victoria's a flash in the pan with, like, you know, how many outbursts are you going to get? Everyone's avoiding her because no one wants to drama with her. Brianna says Kelsey was feeling David Spade the most. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. That's in his alley. We'll have to see. Marianne says, can't wait if Katie comes on for an interview. Yeah, that'd be fun. Hopefully I can do it in like live in person. Try to get those live interviews done. And Sophia says, hi, Dave's sister. What's her name? Her name's Chase. Yeah, sorry. You guys couldn't hear it too well. She never likes to be on the live stream. She's a mother of 4. I have 4 nieces and nephews from my sister Chase. Very beautiful, beautiful kids she's got. All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to add this to my recap, but Victoria Larson said something really funny. She said something really funny. Victoria says, how can I help you resolve your emotions? How funny is that? Do you know how insulting that is? Could you imagine? Imagine fighting with your significant other. We got a lot of ladies in the chat. You guys are having buffering issues? I'm not seeing anything on my end, so I'm just going to hope it's okay. It's the stream. It's bad. Huh. I don't know why it's so bad. Let me see here. Options. Stream size. I'm only streaming in standard. Well, sorry, guys. I'm just going to do my best. Sophia says, is it true David Spade gets some action in Paradise? I heard that a while ago and no updates. Well, no. I mean, they're not. I don't believe so. Well, listen, folks. Unfortunately, can you guys hear me okay? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, because unfortunately, I can't do much about the buffering right now. I'll have to restart the router. But add that to the list of things that are going to make me sleep very well tonight when I'm done dealing with it today. Abigail says, love to have you on the East Coast. Holy wow. Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate all the buffering updates from people. Let me know if you can hear me just fine. It seems fixed. Yeah, I haven't done anything on my end, so we'll have to see what that's all about. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, let me know. I don't know how often. I don't know if tomorrow I'll do an East Coast. It is nice now that I get the East Coast stream. It would be nice to do an East Coast live. But does that mean I abandon the West Coast live? I'll be doing a West Coast live tonight. Let's put it that way. The live is by far the most fun I have. I like making my videos, but I make them by myself. It's kind of ranty. This is obviously way easier for me, I believe. Texas Sea Star says Taj was correct to call Victoria out on her crap. I agree too. I think she handled it perfectly. Milwaukee says Spade was funny, but didn't feel that he brought the energy. Well, and I guess that's just not his. You just got to stay in your lane. His lane's not high energy. His lane's like, I don't know if you watch at the very end and he's talking about, how him and Brendan are 10s. That's his energy. He's joking. Anyway. Keep burping when I drink these. Sorry, probably sounds so gross. I think I've got an open phone line if there's any voicemails. 401-213-9828. That's 401-213-9828. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, Tasha. Demi, can you hear me, Tasha? Do you need help with the bed, the sheets? The rest, the comforter's ready in the dryer if you want to go get it. Otherwise, I'll get it in a little bit when I'm done here. Dr. Josh said Spade was kind of making light of Harrison's role, always talking about how little he had to do and how much he got paid for doing nothing. Well, yeah, he was sort of making fun of Harrison's role, but I think he was, it was all in good fun. MB says, can you explain the live streams? Ask me a question, and I'll try to explain to you. But as far as this very open-ended question, can I explain the live streams? We are a very free-flowing chat about all things in the show. We play voicemails. MB, if you want to call in, 401-213-9828. Michelle Lambert says, Wells is the next Harrison. I believe so. Yeah, he handled the rose ceremony duties. He's basically doing everything you could ask for, and they're giving him enough space and time to kind of fit that role and get people used to it. But he's doing a good job. Texas Sea Star says, just keep in mind that Fantake does his live in the East Coast time zone. Immediately after the show, he's doing Tuesdays for now while it's airing 2 days a week. Oh, good. Well, glad I'm here on Mondays. Maybe tomorrow I'll try to avoid his. We'll have to see. Go to my Instagram to find out when I'm live streaming tomorrow. Still trying to figure it out. Let's see. Lindsay says, I live for you talking to Tasha in between. So cute. Well, Tasha's ready to go to bed because we're coming off East Coast time zone and she's got to work all day tomorrow. So she's ready to go to bed, but we were, doing the laundry because we had the house sitters. So we're figuring all that out. Once I finish this recap, I'm going to shoot my Bachelor in Paradise. Once I finish this live stream, I'll shoot my Bachelor in Paradise recap, which will be very similar to this. I'm not adding any graphics to it. I know a few people said, hey, I wish we had graphics to see it. And all I can say is the juice isn't worth the squeeze right now for me to be spending too much time in post-production with the graphics. I hope that doesn't annoy too many people. So many people have told me that they just listen to the recaps anyway. So if I add graphics, it can add hours of time just to show you what Mari and Kenny look like. You know what I mean? It's just not so much a visual medium. And I know that's funny coming from me on YouTube, but not really. Not going to be doing that for now. Maybe I'll bring that back later. But for now, we are kind of all. I'd rather spend the time live streaming with you guys than spending the post production. Not to mention my laptop's still hasn't turned on. This is Tasha's laptop, so I'm gonna be going to the Genius Bar tomorrow. Crafty Beach said, "Who do you think will host The Bachelor?" Well, the more you watch, the more you think it's Wells, right? The more you think it's Wells. I don't see how it'll be anyone else but Wells. Cora had to go walk the puppy. Very good. Thank you so much for coming back. Gotta go walk the puppy. When we were gone, we had our dog, our house sitters brought their own dog, and it looked like they were just running back and forth all day long. It looked like they had a ton of fun. Our dog doesn't get to hang out with too many other dogs too often. Tara says, have you seen Fleiss's latest tweet? Does that mean Chris Harrison won't be on Dancing with the Stars? Well, let me go to it right now, and I do apologize. I don't have my picture-in-picture set up, so I can't show this to you. Oh, I don't even have... Oh, man. What's his name? Mike Fleiss? I got to go on my phone. I don't even... Because on this computer, I don't have any of my passwords saved. Sorry, guys. If you only knew how wild the day was today. Just a wild day. The Uber tried to charge us $150. Luckily we didn't pay that. All right, Mike Fleiss. Let's see what Mike Fleiss tweeted today. He said, sorry, I am not going on Dancing ABC. Please don't believe everything you read. I think that's in response to the fact that Chris Harrison might be going on Dancing with the Stars. I don't see anything else from him. Yeah. Let me know. Am I missing something in my tweets there? Let me know. Seeing if we got any... Someone tweeted this to me. Victoria Larson calling Tajwan crazy and aggressive wasn't okay, no matter what happened with Trey. That's really loaded language for black women. I thought the same thing at first. I go, geez, maybe you shouldn't call someone aggressive the moment they push back on you. You know what I mean? This might be a separate video because this is the type of thing we really like to dive into. Whenever there's a topic that has some sort of social issue, it's nice to just dive in deeper. So, Victoria calling Tajwan aggressive. Because you know what? We all watched that, and Tajwan wasn't aggressive. If anything, she wasn't happy. She was frankly accusing Victoria of doing exactly what she was doing, which was rose chasing when she was already with Trey. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of this. I'll pull this tweet up right now. Let me see if I can. It's going to take me a second to pull it up here. So this might be a topic of conversation tomorrow because it is a little wild that Victoria says she's changed, she's different, and then the first second she has to stir up drama, there she is. You know what I mean? So we're going to pull this in here. Give me a second. Accept it to downloads. By tomorrow, I'm going to have my picture-in-picture back. But right now, I'm doing it the old school way. So, this was a tweet I just got. Victoria Larson calling Tajwan crazy and aggressive wasn't okay, no matter what happened with Trey. That's really loaded language for black women. Well, I know this. I know whenever you just call a woman crazy, it's loaded because obviously that's just not the deepest way of thinking about what, like, if someone's acting irrational or if someone's acting in response to something, what did you do to cause that is the question. So what did Victoria do to cause Tajwan to be like fed up with her? Well, clearly she went after her man. So that seems fair to question that. Victoria Larson is very good at like walking away from fights she starts, and she did the same thing. She sort of walked away, kind of called her crazy, aggressive, and then once Tajwan kept on walking away, she kept on calling her more things, and then afterwards, Victoria Larson just breaks down crying, and it's like, you can't have both. You can't call this other person crazy and then be the one that flips your emotions like that on a dime. You know what I mean? Nawel says, deep down, it's the same Victoria, the bully. CCC says, that is loaded language for anyone. I believe it is loaded language for everyone. I believe there is truth, though, to black women getting labeled as aggressive when they're, we talk about Rachel Lindsay, she's been vilified by a large segment of people in Bachelor Nation, and she's like, what's so vilifying about me cross-examining people? Is this aggressive? She even went so far, Rachel Lindsay, as saying, I didn't even feel comfortable raising my voice in any way because I then would be labeled that way. So obviously there's some truth to that. There's some truth to what this tweet is saying, that it is loaded to be using that language, especially when, come on, we're all adults here. Can't they just have a normal conversation? No, of course they can't. Aisha, I'm sorry, let me know if I'm pronouncing that name right. It is a classic microaggression, and what struck me as a brown woman was how calm Tajwan likely felt she had to stay. And I actually thought she was very calm too. Sophia said, calling a woman crazy is asking for a crazy reaction. You better believe that. Veronica says, emotional abuser. She not only gaslights, but belittled innocent people for no reason. She ganged up on girls and managed to gain the influence of other girls during Matt's season and this episode. Candace says, Victoria is always calling a person of color aggressive. Remember, the men tell all. Absolutely. And yet somehow Victoria came off as the victim there, which is very fascinating because I believe this was used. Now, let me go back to this here. This is a very fascinating conversation. If anyone wants to chime in at all, firsthand experience or just share something that I wouldn't possibly understand, 401-213-9828, please call the voicemail line. Tammy has some great lines, and I'm trying to find them out. So we had Victoria Larson hits on Brendan. He tells her aura is overpowering. So then she tries to steal Dre. And then Taj Nato comes in to call out Victoria Larson. She calls herself Taj Nato. Love it. Victoria says, how can I help you resolve your emotions? Which is so belittling. How can I help you resolve your emotions? Jeez. How can I help you calm down about what I've done? Man. Where did I write this? Okay, so this is what Tammy says about Victoria Paul. But it applies to Victoria Larson. Tammy says this, manipulative people take the victim route. How true is that? Manipulative people take the victim route. They manipulate into a direction where they are now the victim. I've always said this, it's one thing to be a victim, it's another thing to play a victim. And there are actual victims out there. This is a separate conversation. This is whenever you're in a fight with someone and it's a battle to see who's more hurt, you need to get out of that fight because that's just not where you need to be. You don't need to be in a fight where everyone's trying to see who's the greater victim. And somehow Victoria, she calls Tajuan aggressive, and then she runs off and cries, and she becomes the victim of her own, story here. Listen, Victoria Larson, as Miss Publix 2020, her platform should be how to spin your world into a victimization, because she could run on that platform. I plan on changing the world with world peace and manipulating myself into the victimhood. Candace says, specifically, it's loaded for black women. Don't make this and it's offensive to everyone thing. Let's now, for the comment section, I'll just say this. Let's be respectful and understand that everyone has different experiences. Women, all women matter. No, I'm kidding. Women may feel that a lot of their complicated emotions are seen as crazy by men. I've seen studies, I don't know if it's true or not, that women can process 18 different emotions at once and men can process one. Who knows why? Who knows if that's true? Who knows? But the point is, if you're telling someone they're crazy, you might get a crazy response. You know what I mean? If you project crazy onto someone, maybe they'll throw crazy back at you. Now, when you add in the complexities of gender and race, you're gonna get even more piling on of those microaggressions. Oh, here she goes. Oh, being aggressive, whatever the case may be. So, of course, Candace, I completely agree with you, even though I couldn't possibly know that there are added layers to all of that. Crafty Beach says, loaded language for sure. Victoria doing dirt, then attacking the one questions her reminds me of Sharon Osbourne. Very nice. Veronica says, yes, when their egos are hurt, they destroy the person that did not give them the validation they sought. That might be more a thing about Demi, right? Crafty Beach said Tajuan was great. Yeah. Why? She seems fantastic. I'd love to know more about her. For some reason, we didn't get anything about Trey's uncle in this one. It's almost like we forgot about him. What a flash in the pan. Sarah said, yeah, she stayed super calm. She could have snapped, but she didn't. Yeah, she was sitting there. She didn't stand up when Victoria did. She didn't do anything to add any fuel to the fire. Victoria brought a ball of energy and a ball of fire, and Tajuan was simply herself. We Stick Together said, well, Tajuan did what she had to do. She was keeping it real and said what we were all thinking. Victoria Larson was being aggressively pursuing a rose, and inauthentically at that. Even to the point where Victoria Larson said to Trey, hey, and I don't even blame Victoria Larson for taking the shot. I mean, they are on Bachelor in Paradise. She is trying to stick around, so I don't blame her for taking the shot. She said to Trey, look, if you're not into her and she's kind of into you or whatever, if you're not into her and you're looking for more options, here I am. So Victoria Larson was just saying, hey, if you want more options, I'm here. And then she was like, oh, Tajuan's coming. Let's stop talking. And then Tajuan was like, yeah, let's not do this, which I think is sexy. I think it's sexy for Tajuan to want to defend her relationship and be like, no, get out of here. If Tajuan truly believes her and Trey have something. Now, we only see snippets of this whole thing. So anyway, absolutely. Kyla says Taj is one of the highlights of Paradise so far. Yeah, she's great. Hopefully she sticks around for a long time. I hope she gets a ton of Instagram followers. I hope she's considered for future bachelorettes if she's single. She seems funny. She seems dynamic. Absolutely. JC Miles says he will be wrapping the East Coast post show shortly so he can do additional videos before he comes back live for the West Coast post show. Yeah, that's right. In the next couple minutes, maybe 15 or 20, we'll have to see how this goes. We will be wrapping up this party, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll come back at 10 p.m. Pacific time to do the West Coast live. Trying to get those views back after a weekend of partying. Heather Fitz says Demi went after Kelsey for doing the same thing she was doing with James. Yep. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of, you're going to get a lot of people that want it their way, and they're going to see other people playing games. And there's a difference between canoodling and trying to steal people from others, like that level playing field, than what happens with someone like Brendan and Pieper showing up if they're already dating. That's obviously you can't compete with that. If you're someone like Natasha, it's like, bro, just tell me if you're going to be into someone else. Give me a chance to go meet someone else, You have that in the back of your head you have to worry about. Alex says, would anyone want to see Connor the Cat as Bachelor? He genuinely seems like a great guy and is quick-witted and talented. I agree with all that you said. I think it would be a safe bet to make him Bachelor in the sense that there's no one out there that has a problem with Connor, which is good. He's a different sort of talent than a lot of these other guys. I mean, a lot of these other guys are like 6'4", 6'5". They played college basketball and football. Like Thomas played like college basketball. These guys are huge. Connor's like my size. He's a musician. He's a normal guy. He's very average Joe. And I mean this with all due respect. He's a very average Joe in the looks department. And I mean that in a good way. He's not one of these behemoths of a guy. Because of that, he's used his creativity. He's used his wit. He's used his songwriting ability and his musical talents to mold his charm into this like force. So I think he would be a huge catch for people. But he might not be a catch for the people that are in it for reasons of like power couple, take over the world. But I would very much like to see a bohemian family of Connor the Cat and a musical wife as they travel, like some sort of, I would love to see that cute little Sonny and Cher. Maybe they should do a Listen to Your Heart, Connor, Brennan, Bachelor mashup. How about that? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, looks like we got another super chat. Let me see if I can get down to that and find it. Life Victoria. Just trying to catch up my comments here. All right. Being a victim is a desperate move when your genuine self isn't good enough, and then you have to try anything. Just like telling someone to calm down is going to 100% get the opposite response. Always. Buffering again. Wonder what happens. I wonder what's making that buffer. I'll have to reset the internet. All right, here we go. We all caught up? Man, so many great comments. You guys are kicking butt. You guys are kicking butt. Oh, Cora with a super chat. Thank you so much, Cora. Cheers to everyone being so great in the chat and the fun Bachelor in Paradise vibe we have going. So happy we're turning the corner and the live streams are chill again. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. All right. See what we got here. See what we got here. Milwaukee. Okay, I'm not going to be the one to like litigate the comment section, but just let's when you let's put it this way. When you feel this is probably like a good way to handle comments. If you feel like you're chirping with someone back and forth, let's just not make the live stream about that. Whether you're on the right side or the wrong side, let's just not make the conversation about that. Let's just we'll keep it on the screen here. All right, so we'll do a couple more minutes. Any last voicemails? Go ahead and call them in. Oh, here we got a couple here. Let's go over to Ohio and talk to Alexa.
This is Alexa from Ohio, and I just wanted to say that I do agree that it was bad that Victoria went on the show with a boyfriend, but I do think it was wrong that Tammy and Kelsey went to James about it and didn't talk to her about it, and I do think she had a valid point there, and that if they were really her friends, they wouldn't have just outed her like that to the guy she likes or is interested in, and they would have talked to her and not gotten as mad at her. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Alexa. Alexa says, if Victoria Paul was truly friends with Tammy and Kelsey, they would have come to her and confronted her. Maybe there's a scenario where the producer said, "No, let him go." I don't know what the case may be, but yeah, if you're friends with someone, you'd think you'd go up to them and be like, "Hey, before I make you look really stupid on national TV, are you with the other guy? Because what is this?" Like, give them a chance to explain themselves before going to James. I completely agree with that. Likewise, if for whatever reason they didn't have that conversation and Victoria and James got hot and heavy and they were off on their own thing or filming and it just didn't happen, I could see a world where they let it slip to the group and then it kind of, the information gets passed along so fast, and then I could see that world too. But obviously, what was fascinating to me was that Victoria Paul, like I said, she did all this work to like talk a therapy about it, but she really is coming at it from a very unhealthy place. That could be because she didn't want to admit fault and look stupid on TV. Who knows what the reasons might be, but clearly she was caught red-handed. And if she did have a boyfriend back home and these other two girls did know about it, you'd think she'd at least run it by them and be like, hey, don't blow up my spot. And then it become like a girl code thing. But instead it was like she openly had a boyfriend and didn't like communicate that beforehand. And then she couldn't, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, I found that very odd. Absolutely. All right, let's go over to Florida. We love a good Floridian.
Hey, this is Lindsay from Orlando, Florida. I'm sorry I missed part of the live stream. I know I'm coming in late. I'm curious to know, for me, I've always been a fan of Alea and not Victoria Paul. And I want to know, what was your opinion in their situation on Pieper's season regarding their dispute between them and Pieper? And do you think Victoria's exit came as a surprise? Thank you, love you, bye.
Bye. Great question. So your question was, and we're going to go digging backwards here, and I normally delete past memories of past seasons, but your question was, what did I think about the feud between Victoria Paul and Alea Benavides? I really liked Alea. I might be pronouncing, is it Alaya? Alaya. I really liked, what's her name again? As Victoria Paul. What's his name again? Thomas? James? What's his name? The strong guy? Hulk. I really liked Alaya Benavides, and I felt like she was sent home for no good reason. I felt like she was perfectly fine, and she got a bad edit, and she just seemed like a chill person. And wasn't it, now correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Victoria Paul also manipulate that situation? Wasn't Victoria Paul the one who said like, oh, I didn't even know Alaya. And then Alaya was like, we spent a weekend together in Vegas. We stayed in a hotel room together, and made it quite clear that they actually did know each other. Let me know if there's anyone who has any comments to add about that. Milwaukee Motor said, Victoria made herself look bad. It's unfortunate. Shark Hair says we need a middle-age season. The young senior, we are forgetting the middles. The more I think about Senior Bachelor, the more I don't want it to happen, because my heart will break for the Bachelor contestants that get dumped. I don't need to see a 78-year-old man or woman get dumped. That's just too much to weigh on my conscience. I want them all to bump their Harrisons. I want them all to sling their Spades. I want them all to get out there and have a good time. Because where I come from, we live in a world where you don't care about getting STDs in your 70s, all right? So you want a little bit, you rub some penicillin on it. Okay, we went too far. All right, let's go to Canada. Let's talk to Amanda right here.
This is Amanda from Canada.
Hi.
Just want to say congrats on finding your niche on YouTube and on 40K. It's amazing. For those of you who have not seen or who don't know David Spade, I would recommend the Unqualified podcast with Anna Faris. It's so awesome. Also Joe Dirt, obviously. I'm super glad that both Victorias are gone. Sad about Kelsey. Also loving Serena and Joe. Can't wait to see what happens there. And really happy that this whole Greg thing seems to be disappearing, because I am just so not into him as Bachelor. It's just like textbook gaslighting, emotional manipulation. Not into it. Really hope that he just disappears from the franchise. And yeah, that's it. Go Michael A. Want him to be Bachelor. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Go Michael A. Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. Amanda in Canada. And we are wide open on the phone calls. Let's go for a few more minutes. I'm going to be getting out of here. I'm going to be coming back at 10. So we'll do a nice little flip around. Oh, I got to go get the laundry. Did you get the laundry? All right. Could you possibly just put the clothes in the washer and the dryer, and then I'll finish them up? Otherwise, I'm going to be out there all night. Because I think the comforter's in the washer still. If you can't do it, it's fine. I'll do it in like 10 minutes. I'm going to sign off here in 10 minutes, guys. I'm doing laundry, folks. Sometimes I wonder if the live stream thinks I'm making this up. Can you imagine if I was just a single guy who just, honey, get the laundry. I'm just losing my mind. No, I for sure am in the middle of laundry after just getting back from our trip here. Got to have nice. Oh boy, is there anything better? Like tonight, once the night's over, I got my live streams done. I got my dopamine fix. Then I'm gonna have an extra fabric softener in the dryer. Oh, is there anything better than that? All right. Okay, yeah. Jess says, OMG, y'all, I had the STD talk with my mom when she started dating after my dad died. That's something else. First of all, Jess, I'm sorry for your dad's passing, but that is a phenomenal talking point. If you're ever out and if the conversation ever gets dull and you go, let me tell you about the time I had to have the sex talk with my mom. She was slinging her spade all around town. And let me tell you something. Her David came out. I don't know what that means. That's, what were you trying to tell her? Jess, what were you just warning her to use protection? Come on. Like our parents, they're from like the Woodstock era. Protection for them is, just putting a seatbelt on. That's as far as they need to go. The rest is up to God's fate. Sophia says, I'm doing laundry and dishes too, except I include booze. Have to make it fun. There you go. You don't put booze in the washing machine, do you? Does that get stains out? Laundry and dishes, buddy. I can't tell you how many people breastfeed and do the dishes while they watch my channel. Normally I'm like, all right, take a selfie while you're watching the channel. Listen, if you're breastfeeding, by all means, I'm not asking you to send me a selfie. But I won't stop. I will share it if you want me to. I'm just saying, cover up. But I think if there's anything in this country that can destigmatize the shame of breastfeeding in public, it's getting you guys to watch my channel as you pump a couple ropes out there for the kid. Is that a term they use? I'm sorry, folks. I am sober. I've had Diet Dr. Pepper. Anyway, folks, slinging the spade. Brianna knows what's up. Got to sling that spade. I want to thank everyone again for 40,000 subs. The night is not over. I do have a little bit I need to do, so I am going to head out of here, okay, and come back at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you haven't watched my one video I made today, it's about Greg Grippa. You can go check that out. Candace says, never had the sex talk, just learned as I went. Same here. I had the how babies were made talk, but I never had a proper sex talk. I feel like that's what my adult life is just trying to figure out the sex talk. Milwaukee Motor says, can someone please clarify bumping Harrisons? Well, it really comes from the term bumping uglies, which is the dirtiest, stupidest term for having sex. So I just call it bumping Harrisons. There's really nothing else to say about that. Jess said she lives in a retirement community. They all date so much. She hadn't dated since she was with my dad over 50 years. Condoms, different STDs, oral sex, etc. Well, good to know. Have her tune into a recap here. Call in, please. Jess's mom, 401-213-9828. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy. Well, that's what Bachelor in Paradise is all about. We'll be pulling apart hypocrisy and all that. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to help Tasha. She's going to be getting to bed. And I'm going to get the laundry done so she has some nice warm sheets to go to sleep in. But I will be back at 10 p.m. Pacific time for another episode, another West Coast live chat. We will be back at some time or another tomorrow. Maybe it'll be after the East Coast or after the West Coast. It probably won't be before the East Coast. I got a lot of other work to do. I might be stuck at the Apple store trying to get my computer fixed. Who really knows, folks? Who really knows? But thank you guys so much. If you do want to come back, I'll be here at 10. No pressure either way. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Thank you for helping me get back into the swing of things today. We're going to have a ton of content to talk about this week. I appreciate all of your input with it. And for everyone who's sending me stuff and all the Venmos and Super Chats, thank you guys all so much. I really appreciate you. And we'll see you all in a little bit. Bye-bye now. Interview Jess's mom. It's hard to schedule an interview when she's so busy banging. Don't forget to bump your Harrison on the way out. Slice your spade on top of that like button, and we'll see y'all later.